You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about those Las Vegas Raiders and Tom Brady and Antonio Pierce and Davante Adams. Now, I think a lot of us believe that Davante Adams is on a one-way train to New York Jets land or to the New Orleans Saints. Now, I've got to tell you, I saw today where Spencer Rattler is going to start for Derek Carr. Derek Carr's got an oblique tear. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to keep the Saints on the list for Davante Adams. It's pretty well known he'd like to play with a quarterback that he's already played with. So Antonio Pierce came out and made some comments today about Davante Adams and him being a Raider. But before we get to that, let's get to something we've talked about a lot in the past, that we've covered a lot in the past. And finally, there's movement forward on the Tom Brady ownership issue with the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, if you've been watching this channel long enough, we covered a lot of Raiders last year, and Mark Davis, Tom Brady, they're tight. Okay. Mark Davis owns the Las Vegas Aces. Tom Brady owns a portion of that WNBA team. He owns a portion of a soccer team. And of course, he's a Fox Sports NFL analyst. And he's on their number one NFL analyst team, along with Kevin Burkhardt. Well, many believe there's a conflict of interest between him owning a minority portion of the Raiders, and that's what it would be. All right. It might be like a 5%, 6%, 7% piece of the Raiders. But, some have presented that, okay, there would be a conflict of interest because he works for Fox Sports and he obviously has contact with other teams and things like that. And I don't know what that means. Is he going to be talking to general managers about, for example, hey, I talked to so-and-so and they're willing to give us a third for Davante, but the other team, well, I talked to them during our meetings on Fox, and they're willing to give us a second and a fourth together. I don't believe that's going to happen. I have a feeling he would keep it as about as professional as you could expect. But nonetheless, it's finally moving forward. All right. And now moving forward means they're finally, and I'm talking about the NFL owners, going to put it to a vote. It's going to be interesting. I think there's a chance some owners, and he needs 24 votes, but as you can see right here, it only takes 9 to kill the deal. All right. So who put this up? Florio, I'm sure. Yeah. Former NFL quarterback Tom Brady's efforts to buy a piece of the Raiders is on the agenda for next week's owners' meetings, according to Ben Fisher of the Sports Business Journal. As Fisher notes, such measures rarely land on the agenda, absent a high degree of confidence that they'll secure the requisite number of votes for approval. Still, Brady needs 24 votes. It only takes 9 owners to kill the deal. And given the league's placement of significant restrictions on Brady's ability to meet with teams and attend practices prior to his Fox broadcast, it's obvious that more than a few owners have concerns about conflicts of interest associated with Brady owning part of one team and covering all of them. The conflict of interest is clear. Brady can't do his best for Fox while also fulfilling his duties for the Raiders to the best of his ability. Frankly, Brady shouldn't want to do both. Frankly, at least 9 owners should politely and decisively keep it from happening. Yeah, Florio has not been on board with this for quite some time as something that should happen. Look, I think Brady can probably separate the two in order to be professional and carry out his duties with Fox and still, have a very small piece of the Raiders ownership. But I will acknowledge, is there a chance that 9 owners could say no because of that? Sure, there is. I think that is definitely potentially on the table. And there was some reaction to this, and a lot of people agreed. They posted this on Pro Football Talk. A lot of people agreed that it was conflict of interest. Others believed it wasn't, and this is something we don't talk about. This guy brought it up. Chris owns Pro Football Focus. Chris Collinsworth is the one that owns Pro Football Focus, and every club in the league uses PFF. Okay, uh, they use the grades, they use it in evaluations, they use it in free agency, they use it when coming up with their salary projection, the whole nine. Evaluating players, PFF is part of it. Well, Collinsworth does what? He works for NBC, right? NBC Sports Sunday Night Football. And you just don't hear anything like that, from around the league. In fact, everybody around the league, loves that particular website. Well, okay. So we'll have to see. Is there a chance that it gets voted down? I think there's a real shot that 9 owners could say no. Do I think they should? Hell no. Just let him have a piece of the Raiders. Again, there was a world. Remember, he was supposed to be Raiders quarterback, and that's how. It's funny how things work. He was supposed to be the quarterback. He backed out. They signed Jimmy Garoppolo instead. They let Jarrett Stidham walk, and Josh McDaniels lost his job. It's crazy how things go in the NFL, but that's what happened. So, Antonio Pierce has made comments about Davante Adams. Of course, a lot of rumors around him getting traded. Is he going to get traded? We don't know. My gut feeling is, yeah, he's going to get traded somewhere. But here we go.
He's still a Raider. He's never not been a Raider.
Yeah, actually playing again for the Raiders.
He's still a Raider. When he's healthy and he can play, we'll play him. He's just not healthy right now. And he's getting closer, though. That's the good part. He's working every day to get that hamstrings right. He's in the right headspace mentally. Like I said, we talked recently and had a good conversation. He's ready to play football.
Has he been rehabbing here at the facility, Antonio?
Yes.
Have you seen him here?
Okay, so he's been at the facility. Antonio Pierce is trying to throw some water on the trade speculation. Obviously, he's a Raider. He's a Raider right now. That doesn't mean anything. He's a Raider until he gets traded, and then he's not a Raider. Okay, and do I expect him to get traded? Yeah, I kind of do. Do I think he'll get traded to the Chiefs, which is what I've seen more than a few people bring up? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that, because with Antonio Pierce's personality, and it's one of the things I think a lot of us like about Antonio Pierce, is Antonio Pierce is not going to know when to give up, right? He's not going to know when to throw the flag on the season or wave the white flag. And that's obviously a rival. It's obviously a team in division. And while sometimes you do see in division trades, you see it of players that I believe the team that has them believes is washed up. I don't think anybody believes Davante Adams is washed up. Now, does he have more than this year and say next year at a highly productive level? That I don't know. Okay, but do I think he's got this year and next year at a highly productive level? Yeah. Do you trade that in division? My gut feeling would be no. And again, Derek Carr's hurt. Now, depending on how long Derek Carr's going to be hurt, the Saints, like I said earlier, in play. Jets, definitely in play. And honestly, they fired Saleh. I love the Jeff Ulbrich hiring. I love that. He was a Niner. I'm a Niners fan. I mean, he was one of those tough-nosed SOBs, quickly building a name for himself as a true defensive dude mind in the league. I like the step up. And my gut feeling says that Jets team's going to do pretty good for him, actually. And then there's going to be a chance he's going to be the head coach. Now, all of that depends on how Aaron Rodgers performs, right? But do I think it ultimately becomes Adams to the Jets. Yes, I think that's where we're headed. For what? I don't know. Probably at least a second. My gut feeling is it's going to take a second and something else. What? I don't know. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.